Hi everyone, welcome back. My name is Melanisha and this is Just Homesteading. Today I am going to be preparing some of my potatoes for planting. So I actually ordered some potatoes online. Those won't be here until I believe about April. And then I saw that one of my local nurseries had some potato seeds for sale. So I stopped the other day and picked some up. And today I'm going to get them ready for planting. So I am about maybe about two-ish weeks from being able to start planting in my garden, which means I need to get my potatoes ready. I need to start hardening off my plants. I need to get my greenhouse up. There's just a lot to do. I have to get my compost ordered. And that's the easy part, right? Because I get the compost ordered and then I have to get it all the way up to my garden. So we'll be doing all of that in the next few weeks. So in picking my potato varieties, I looked for varieties that store well. My goal at this point is to store enough potatoes to last my family 1 year. I have not been able to do that yet. But that's the goal for this year, and it will continue to be the goal until it is accomplished. So I have about 5 pounds of red Pontiac potatoes here, and what you want to do is look for the eyes. So these are the eyes right here, and those are going to be your potato plant. So the green parts that you see come up out of the ground come out of these eyes. If you keep your potatoes, even your store-bought potatoes, in your kitchen for too long, you will see them start to sprout. So what you want to do is you want to cut your potato. You can cut it in half, you can cut it in fourths. You can do more than that if the potato is big enough, but you want to have at least 1 to 2 eyes on each piece of the potato. So I'm just going to cut this one in half because it's not terribly big. So as you can see, this side has a bunch of eyes and this one has about 3. So, and you want to cut your potatoes and let them sit in your house for a little bit to allow this portion of the potato to harden over. So if you plant these out in your garden right now, just like this, it will rot because of this exposed area. But if you let them sit in your house for a little bit, this area will harden over and they'll be okay to plant. And you may not be able to cut them all. It just depends on where the eyes are and the size of the potato. And I'm going to go through and do this for all of the potatoes. So when I bought these potatoes from my local nursery, I bought about 25 pounds of potatoes. And that will be in addition to what I have coming in the mail. And I've done this both ways. I've planted my potatoes whole, and I've also planted them cut, and each time you get a good crop. Yes, and some of these I could probably cut them in quarters, but I'm okay with just cutting them in half. And just mainly because even with me cutting these in half, I will likely have to dig new trenches in my garden to have space for all of these potatoes. And I have a box over here that I'll show you in a minute. And that's where I'm going to put the potatoes and let them sit. You see this one, this is a big one, and it has a mold spot on it. That's completely okay. You can still plant it in the ground and it will grow into a potato plant. See, so this one is larger, and I'm not gonna cut this one just yet because it's harder to see the eyes on this side. So if you can't actually see the eyes on your potatoes, if you just set your potatoes in a box or leave them in the bag that they come in, and just throw an onion in there with them, they will sprout faster, and that'll make it easier for you to cut them. So for right now, I'm just going to leave that one. Okay, so like this one is larger. I cut this one into 3. You probably could cut it smaller, but I like mine about that size. I finished cutting up all of my red Pontiac potatoes. And I want to show you these. These are blue potatoes from my local big box store. Grew these last year. My 6-year-old likes these potatoes because they're blue and we use them in our stir fry. Again, you see it has mold on it. It doesn't matter. It plants just fine. But these have bigger eyes on them. So just so you get a better idea of what they look like. And I don't know that any of these potatoes are big enough or have enough eyes for me to cut in half. So I guess technically I could cut this one down the middle and have one eye on each side, but I'm likely just going to leave these whole. Yeah, these are ready to be planted. And I'm not going to cut them because they're so small. I have 2 bags of them, so we're just gonna leave these as is. So I have some Kennebec potatoes here. This one has some nice large eyes on it. And again, you go through the same process. You cut them, make sure that there are 1 to 2 eyes on each side, and that's it. And like I said, if the potato is larger, you can cut it into 3/3 or to 4ths. This is a nice big one. Yeah, and I like to keep mine on my pieces on the larger side, and that's just personal preference. You don't have to. So one of the good things about buying your potatoes locally is that you have the time to cut these in half and to allow them to chit meaning allowing the eyes to grow. Your potatoes do not need to have eyes. They do not need to have these little sprouts on them for you to plant. If they have no sprouts but you see the eyes, if you put them in the ground, they are going to grow. This just gives them a head start. If you are getting ready to plant your cold weather crops, now is likely a good time to get your potatoes ready for planting. And just really quick, I wanted to show you this. So this is a store-bought potato. I noticed it sprouting, so I just left it in my kitchen. And as you can see, the eye on that one is huge. and I'm going to plant this. I will likely put it in a 5-gallon bucket, and because I have a few more of these, and these grow potatoes. So I know sometimes people say that you can't grow potatoes from ones that you buy from the store. You absolutely can. I've done it. You just take this, you put it into soil, and it will grow potatoes. Will you get as many as your seed potatoes? Maybe, maybe not. I think it all depends on, you know, the variety of the potato and your growing conditions. So don't be afraid to take those potatoes from your kitchen and just throw them into the ground, or put them in a 5-gallon bucket if you want to keep them separate from your seed potatoes. So that is it. I just wanted to do a quick video showing you how I get my potatoes prepared for planting. There is a lot going on in my house right now, getting these potatoes ready. I am up to 23 sweet potato slips right now, and there are more growing. What else? I need to start some more seeds, so I want to start some more peppers. I have not started any tomato plants yet, and I also need to get my squash and melons started. Squash and melons probably have another couple of weeks. Those really don't like to be root bound, so I do my best to wait for those. I will be starting to harden off my plants that are going out into the garden. So yeah, we are busy over here. You know, like I said before, you know, I work full time. I have 4 children. You know, we have the garden, we preserve, you know, we do the canning. And, you know, right now is just a really busy time in my house, and that's okay. So, you know, right now is one of those times of year when, like, so yesterday I spent a ton of time catching up on some cleaning that needed to be done, catching up on some laundry. So I think, you know, when I first, and this is just completely unrelated to potatoes, but when I had my first child, you know, I was really big on making sure that everything in the house was done, you know, laundry, dishes, etc. And as I've had more children, I've realized that there are just some things that are more important. So, you know, if you come to my house, sometimes there will be dishes in the sink. It is what it is, right? Because sometimes there are other things that I need to get done, and sometimes I want to spend time with my children instead of washing dishes. So, you know, I read recently where someone was talking about, you know, running your dishwasher more than once. Like, say you ran it and maybe the dishes didn't get clean, and they say, just run it again. So yeah, just run it again. You know, life is not perfect. I'm not perfect. And I do my best with the time that I have, and I prioritize the best way that I know how. So, and today that means getting all of these potatoes cut so that way they can harden over and be ready to go into the garden in the next 2-ish weeks. Yeah, so let me know if you have any questions. Okay, so here are the red Pontiac potatoes in the box. Again, they're all cut, so you can see 1 to 2 eyes on each piece. The other one's over here. And that's it. As always, thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next video.